3.4 Motivation by Aaron Sparrowhawk. The introduction. The definition of motivation, there have been many definitions, however the main one is a drive to fulfill a need, and that was by Gill in 1986. There are two key types of motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic. The intrinsic, this is all about the personal side of things and being motivated for yourself, and many thrive and are motivated off the thrill of a challenge or succeeding in a personal goal that they've set for themselves. Extrinsic is almost the opposite. This is motivation which is to benefit from outside factors, so like rewards, money, certificate at an early age, and all those types of things that are away from the personal side and are definitely out and extrinsic. So scenario, Hugo is a footballer. Hugo starts on the bench, which often discourages him. However, the coaches feel Hugo does not put in enough effort at practice and training. However, Hugo feels the facilities are not good enough and affect his performance, and as a result, he believes his performance won't change. Many of the supporters are often mean to Hugo due to his performance. So that's scenario one. First evaluation we can make is Hugo can be linked to the social learning theory. This is because all of his drive comes extrinsically and from the environment that he's placed in. For example, the facilities, they're affecting his performance, and that decreases his drive to perform, which is demotivating, which is obviously in the environment, which is linked with the social learning theory. So that's the first thing we can draw out from scenario one. The second thing we can evaluate is Hugo can be linked with the motivation theory, which is the attribution theory. The graph below it kind of explains the theory, but it pretty much shows how somebody is controlled, both stable and unstable. Currently, Hugo, it's down to his effort at training, so that's internal, that's to do with himself. However, the worst possible quadrant that he could be placed in is ability. It's not that, it is his effort that he's putting in at the moment. Also, outside factors can be linked with this and put into task difficulty, which can be the supporters. That can be an outside factor which is affecting the difficulty of the task. Finally, the scenario shows signs of fixed mindset for Hugo. This is about his performance and the facilities, so it's obviously fixed. He believes that with the facilities how they are, he can't perform any better, and they will not change. So that's definitely a fixed mindset. He won't change. It's unchangeable, and as a result, he's demotivated to play due to the facilities and what it's causing and affecting his performance. So that's scenario one evaluated. So, scenario two. Amy plays tennis. She is ranked second in her club. She often compares herself to the number one seed Rachel. Amy has been working hard in practice recently on specific skills such as her serve. When she serves incorrectly, her coach often punishes her with sprints at the end of the session. Amy does this as she is very driven and always has been since she started playing. However, some factors may change Amy's motivation, for example the court. Amy feels she has to achieve a goal in order to be successful. First thing we can draw out from scenario 2 is Amy can be linked with trait and interactionist theories. Trait is that motivation and personality and everything is down to genetics, and it happens in every spectrum, in sport, day to day, everything. It's definitely genetic, and that's the trait theory essentially. However, the interactionist theory can be linked with this because there are some environmental factors. For example, the court is one of them that is shown here and is present in the scenario that can change and alter Amy's motivation. So she is always driven, but at certain times it can be changed due to an environmental factor. For example, the court again. Second evaluation, another thing we can evaluate from Amy is she could be considered and linked with the achievement goal theory. The achievement goal theory is almost for a performer or anyone to set a goal for themselves. There are two key types of goals. Ego, which is almost comparing, which is what Amy is currently doing with the first seed Rachel, and task and mastery, and that's specific skills in a sport, which Amy is currently doing as well with her serve. She's currently working on her serve, which is specific, which is then she's trying to master the serve in order to generate a better performance. And that can be linked with the achievement goal theory. Achievement goal theory is essentially setting a goal, one or the other, or both, and sticking to that, and being motivated because of that goal, and because it's been set. So Amy can be linked with them. Amy can possibly be linked and used as an example for achievement motivation theory. This is because Amy can be linked with Natch, as she wants to succeed and not just to avoid failure. She doesn't mind failing, but she has to succeed. In order to be successful, she has to reach her goal. This is due to competitiveness, persistence, and the strive for perfection that she has in her sport. She has to succeed. She has to. She's not avoiding failure, but she has to succeed. That is Natch, not Nath. Nath is where, as long as you avoid failure, then that's fine. You don't have to succeed in order to feel good for yourself. Finally, Amy is currently in a negative motivational climate, and that is set by her coach. The way this is set is simply that the coach is punishing her for failure. And for this is because obviously she's being punished by doing sprints after every failed serve or negative serve. He needs to use positive reinforcement in order to change the climate. Positive reinforcement could be congratulating her after a serve, or just simply avoiding the negative side of things by making her run and punish her. Avoiding that and giving her positive reinforcement, positive feedback, and keeping things very positive to change from a negative climate to a positive motivational climate. And that is essentially 3.4 motivation.